Hello everyone, your Sock Monkey here with a new segment that I like to call Monkey's Motoring Musings. So Don, today it is July 4th, so happy Independence Day to my subscribers that are American or just anyone who's happening to watch this video that's from America. So happy Independence Day to you all, and I hope you all have a fun and safe Independence Day. I just got off of work a little while ago, but you know, that's not the main focus of this video. This is going to be a vlog series about the cars that I've been driving. For those of you who don't know, my current daily driver, so to speak, is a 2012 Lexus C2 200H hybrid that I do share with my wife. Technically it's her car, but we only have one car, so we do share that. She works from home the majority of the time, so I've been putting the lion's share of the miles on the car, which has been a little over 5,000 in 3 months, and she's looking at me and shaking her head while I'm mentioning that, because we bought the car with 75,000 and it's got like 80,320 something miles on it right now. But anyway, so I got my full driver's license back in February. It was a really long story, maybe I'll share it in another video. But I've been doing a lot of test driving since February and getting to experience a lot of different cars. Because I'd like to be able to have a vehicle of my own at some point. I mean, I'm not knocking the Lexus or the Prius that came before it. They were both great cars. It's just, personally, are hybrids really for me? Not really, unless they came out with... The only hybrid that I really truly do have an interest in is the Subaru XV Crosstrek hybrid. That one really did fit the bill for me, because of the fact that it is all-wheel drive. It does have 8 inches of ground clearance, so you do get a lot of the features of like a mini SUV or a crossover, while still maintaining the practicalities of being able to drive on the highway. So, because my wife and I do highway driving once a week, if not more. And lately it's been a lot more, just because I've turned into the road warrior and just driving all over creation. What I'm getting to the point is, the majority of the cars that I've driven have been small to mid-sized cars. I've driven a Toyota Corolla, I've driven Subarus, I had a little burst of fancy one Monday and went to 3 Highline dealerships to drive 3 all-wheel drive sports sedans. And I just decided, you know, the sports sedan life isn't for me. But what I'm getting at is, I had the opportunity this past Sunday to play valet parker and park these are 2 vehicles that, if you're a longtime subscriber to my channel, you've seen them. My mom's 2011 Buick Enclave CXL2 all-wheel drive, which is, of course, a big 3-row crossover. And my dad's 2015 Chevy Silverado LTZ Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. So, I had the opportunity to drive them for the first time. So, my general first impressions on the Silverado, and the only other pickup truck I had driven before that was my sister-in-law's 2010 Chevy Avalanche, which it wasn't a bad vehicle. The one thing I do wish it would have had was a backup camera, but thankfully the Silverado did solve that. The LTZ package Silverado that my dad owns has not only a backup camera, but it has reverse sensing, which comes in very handy for when you're trying to back up out of a spot because you're kind of like wedged in between another car and your wife's car, and you don't want to hit your wife's car that already has a big dent in it.
I wonder who dented the car.
Oh, they already know, sweetie. They already know it was me. quiet you.
No. Okay.
So anyway, yeah, backup camera reverse sensing. But other than that, I don't know, it felt car-like to drive, but it's just not for me. Which is one reason why I wish Subaru would bring back the Baja, or at least I wish I could be able to find one in more availability. I was at a dealership this past week, and there was one, but I was kind of afraid to even ask about it because it had a little bit of front end damage on it. Like it looked like the hood was tied shut. But mostly I've been driving things. I drove a couple of Minis, drove a Volvo C30. Last week I also drove a Subaru Outback, the Legacy-based Outback to compare with the Impreza-based Outback. I drove an 06 Forester a while back, a Honda Element, which is like, the Honda Element was the equivalent of Don't Meet Your Heroes, because I was just more disappointed with the Element than I liked it. You know, the one thing I did like about it is it did have very generous glass area, but so do the Subarus. The next, so I liked it. It felt car-like. Maybe it was just because it's an LTZ that has the nice suspension and the comfy seats and all that good stuff. But, you know, it just wasn't for me. And then the next vehicle that I wound up driving was, I ended up driving my mom's 2011 Buick Enclave. This car has 102,000 miles on it now. We bought it with 35,000. It's kind of getting long in the tooth. It's had currently the issue with it now is the AC. The AC compressor was broken, and they put another AC compressor on, and that too was broken. So go figure. So my thoughts on driving that car were, it wasn't that bad. Did like the fact that it also had a backup camera, but one thing that just was weird to me was it had a very thin steering wheel. Maybe I'm just weird, but I like having my steering wheels with a little bit of chunk to them. The Lexus steering, the steering wheel on the CT200 is pretty much perfect. Plus it has the little grips, the little thumb grips at 10 and 2. Or is it 9 and 3? I'm not sure. I know it's got the little thumb extension grips on it. And then, of course, the one vehicle that I really truly enjoyed driving recently was the 2006 Subaru Outback Sport that I posted up on my channel. One of the things that, the thing that, you know, is probably just going to make a whole bunch of people laugh at me is I don't conform to the idea that I'm a red-blooded American male and I have to drive a pickup truck. I'm just not that person. I don't know. Maybe it's just because all I've ever driven in my relatively short driving career have been small cars. And that's just what I'm used to. That's what I've learned. That's what I've gotten to enjoy, is driving smaller cars. But I like the Subarus because they're all-wheel drive. I do love the Subarus because if you take care of them, you will get a lot of mileage out of them. I was just speaking with my godmother the other day about her old 92 Legacy she used to have, and she said that she had gotten 195,000 miles out of it before she gave it to a friend of hers. And then her kids ended up driving. I mean, who knows? It's probably still driving around someplace. So, basically, I mean, the one other truck that I would potentially consider if I needed a truck, and honestly, I'm just not sure if I would ever really need a truck. Because that's the other thing that kind of drives me, drives me insane a little bit about the convention that you're a red-blooded American male, you must drive a pickup truck, is, like, if I really needed to drive a pickup truck, I have friends and family that have trucks. Plus, Home Depot rents them. But the one truck that I would truly consider, if the prices weren't so insane, would be the Toyota Tacoma, because it is pretty much the standard on which all trucks are pretty much based. And the other truck-based SUV that I drove that I really did enjoy was the Nissan Xterra. The only reason I really didn't like it is because that particular one wasn't four-wheel drive, and I've heard that they just get really nasty gas mileage. So basically, to sum it up, small cars for me are where it's at. Probably the biggest vehicle I could see myself driving is, for my own, is maybe a Subaru Forester, if not a Subaru Crosstrek. Or if I ever do actually need a pickup truck, probably a Tacoma if I can find one that's not 20K for one with 90,000 miles. But yeah, so that's just all I have for this one episode of Monkey's Motoring Musings. Hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching.